We're talking about Refinance Checkup, the Refinance Checkup. So a lot of people have questions in regards to this. So, John, I'll let you take it away from here.
All right, great. Yeah, last week you guys had a nice show about what's going to happen with the real estate professionals as well as interest rates when we have a new president in office come November. And even before then, they indirectly can affect the market when it comes to global economy and exchange rates and, of course, interest rates. So it's a good idea to always, see if you can benefit through a refinance. And also this week, I received a call from a first-time home buyer asking if we could use the HARP, the Home Affordable Refinance Program, for a purchase on a first-time home buyers program so he can avoid an appraisal. So I went through the whole ins and outs of that program with them, and I believe he must have just Google searched and clicked on the ad and ended up getting that. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, or you click on the wrong thing. You're better off talking to a mortgage professional that you trust and that you can speak with. But it's easy. You don't have to go through the whole process of sitting down and going over all I really need you to do is give me a call with your mortgage statement in front of you so you can break down your escrow balance. And that's the first thing people see on their mortgage statement now is escrow balance. Oh, I have $3,000 in my escrow balance. What is this? And that's something that you would be able to cash once you refinance. Goes directly to you, and we would have to start up a whole new escrow balance, meaning the closing costs might be a little higher. So we weigh all that into the effect. But basically, get your mortgage statement out, your monthly bill, and they're pretty detailed. The problem is they're still not detailed enough. You don't know what your current mortgage, who it's owned by. There's 4 major entities that we're all available to lend on or approved to lend. There's a conventional loan, which 95% of conventional loans are owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Then there's FHA, Federal Housing Administration, there's VA, and then there's USDA. USDA is the only one that doesn't have any refinance options because it's purchase money only. So the only way out of that is to refinance into one of the other entities that I mentioned. So quickly we'll discuss for 10 minutes. We'll take a look at the numbers. You don't have, if it's an embarrassing conversation about your finances or what you have in the bank, please disregard. Everything we discuss is confidential. I get it. We've all been there. We've had good years, bad years, extremely bad years. So what we're going to do in those 10 minutes is just see if it's beneficial to drop from if you have 27 years left to 25, just to save that much more, or if you have no choice but to go back to a 30-year. And that's another reason why a lot of people don't want to refinance. Who wants to go back to a 30-year?
Yeah.
If you can break even on a 20-year mortgage and you have 27 years left, why not refinance? You know what I mean? On a monthly payment, you're saving 7 years of interest. The goal here, people, is to get mortgage free. You're better off not having a mortgage and the whole interest rate reduction, tax deduction. I would rather save $20,000 a year than paying a mortgage company and pay $3,000 in taxes. If that's the math there, it's a 25 cents on the dollar. I believe I spoke with a financial advisor once, and basically, if you're too embarrassed to talk to a mortgage professional, you can do a lot of this math on your own. Now, I'm going to go through the programs quickly for you. The HARP program, that is if you're in a conventional loan. Again, it won't specify on your mortgage statement. You can always call your escrow department and ask them, with the servicer you're currently paying, and ask them, what type of mortgage am I in, and can you break down my escrow, what my taxes, insurance, and am I paying PMI, which would trigger that you're in a conventional loan, or am I paying FHA mortgage insurance premium? So conventional is PMI, FHA is MIP, or it'll even say HUD risk-based insurance. So you have no idea. That's FHA. That'll trigger. You can decipher it pretty quickly in our 10-minute conversation what you're currently in, and then when you took it out. Now, when it comes to HARP, if your interest rate is 5% or higher, or 7.5% on an investment property, you can avoid an appraisal. It's a paper shuffle to lower your interest rate, and you don't have to go back to a 30-year. All we do is punch in all your information into the system, and it tells us if you're approved for either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac HARP. So quick conversation on the HARP program and saving you years there. As far as FHA, they have a streamlined program where, again, no appraisal. All you do is it's a paper shuffle to lower your interest rate and your mortgage insurance premium. When I originally started, the FHA mortgage insurance premium was 75 cents on the dollar. So if you were a $100,000 loan, $750 a year, and they divided by 12. It went up to $1.30 or 130%, which would be $1,300 per 100. Now it's all the way back down to 85%, which is $850 per 100,000. If you're at 85%, if you're at 85% or less of the loan to value, it's at 80%.
People are always asking me that.
Yeah,
How do you calculate
and
that? Yeah.
why conventional is better is if your credit's pretty decent, it's 54%. So $540 on 100,000. So that's all the stuff will weigh out for you. And then, of course, there's Veteran Affairs. VA has this interest rate reduction refinance loan called VA IRL that is the best thing ever invented. It's a paper shuffle. We can do all of these within 10 days to 2 weeks tops because we're avoiding an appraisal just to lower your interest rate or your interest rate and your term so you don't have to go back. So it's worth a 10-minute discussion, especially with what we have coming up soon. And if you have 4% or higher, it's definitely worth a discussion to see if we can get you into the threes. So I would highly recommend calling or trying to find out if you're in an existing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And there's lookup tools that you can Google. Fannie Mae lookup, what's all you do is Google search Fannie Mae lookup, Freddie Mac lookup, and it'll tell you. You have to punch it in correctly. Figure people had to enter this into the data source. If they messed up and put street instead of drive, it will say you're not a match. That's why you're better off either calling the escrow department or calling me to have it looked up for you.
Well, there's so much to the process, and there's going to be so many questions that come up as they're typing in that information. I know firsthand.
Right, and absolutely, you have to give your last 4 digits of your social as well. So if you don't want to shell that out, I understand. Do it on your own. If you don't want to talk to anyone.
I personally don't like putting all that stuff into random websites. That I find in Google. I would much rather. You're on air on iHeartRadio. You know what I mean? You're a licensed professional. If they look you up on the roundtableradio.com, they're going to see you there. So I'd much rather contact a reputable local source. That Rhode Island's a small place. Everybody knows everybody. They probably know somebody that knows you.
It's a dreaded process too. A lot of people they forget about it. They pay their mortgage, they move on. Hopefully they get raises, or they haven't had a raise, or they're just barely making it. It's worth looking into a checkup to see if the math is there. We don't have to pull your credit at all. A lot of lenders make their loan officers pull their credit, get as much information so we have you in our database. I'm not that way. I like the freedom I have where I can just get your mortgage statement out. We'll do the math together. My wife made this beautiful simulator through an Excel spreadsheet that I put in a few numbers, and you see all the detailed math there. If we're doing a 30-year, or 25-year, or 20, how much the PMI is, how much the FHA mortgage insurance is. And, it's in black and white. You can see the savings. If it's not there, the relief these people feel after we have this 10-minute conversation, that they understand, all I have to do is call my servicer to remove my PMI. I never knew that. They finally got it off their chest that, I need some help with my mortgage, or I want to see if I can benefit from this. That's why I still love my job. The relief people, you can feel it. It's in their voice at the end of our conversation, and they thank me. That's what it's all about.
The median home here in Rhode Island about $250. So they're looking at close to $200 per month if they can get rid of their PMI.
Easily.
Alone.
Yeah, and that frees up, if you didn't get that raise this year, that frees up some money to help with the groceries, to help with everything we have to come up with. Summer months are coming up. What's also a good idea too is in many cases you're going to skip a month's worth of payment, get your escrow balance back.
Yeah.
So you have a nice cushion for the summer where all of us spend more money. It's impossible not to.
Of course.
Besides Christmas. We
exactly.
tend to overdo it with that. But I highly recommend giving a mortgage professional a call that is willing to do this for you and take 10 minutes out of their day just to see if they can benefit you. And then you can decide afterwards if you want to refinance. No obligation at all. And if you want to fill out an application, I cannot tell you not to. I have to legally accept your application, pull your credit, see where we're at. So I'm happy to accommodate any situation out there.